Well, let's go to Ramallah and speak with Faisal Mahboob. He joins us now. He is the head of the Red Crescent delegation in Palestine. Faisal, thank you very much indeed for your time. For 2 days, access to the camp was extremely restricted, if not impossible. But I understand you have been in since. Just tell us what you've seen there, what the atmosphere is like.
Thank you very much for having me. And you're right, after 2 days, I was able to access the refugee camp today morning. I spent the day there. We visited the majority of the area of the camp along with the team of first responders and from the Palestinian Red Crescent Society who have been active on the ground since the beginning. We have a branch there, the Palestinian Red Crescent Society, and they have been preparing for this kind of eventuality all the time. They respond to them. So they were well positioned to respond as best as they can. However, there were challenges on the ground.
No doubt there were. There's understandably an awful lot of anger directed towards Israeli forces and Israeli authorities. However, I understand there's also a fair amount of anger being directed towards the Palestinian Authority and indeed Fatah, particularly during those funerals that have taken place in Jenin. Can you confirm that, and how would you explain it?
Unfortunately, I won't be able to dwell into that. My focus was mainly on the humanitarian aspect. While I was there, I looked at the humanitarian needs that are required and how best we can respond to them on an ongoing basis.
Well, what discussions have you had with Israeli authorities then? Because clearly there are fears within the camp that this sort of attack may well happen again in future.
With Israeli authorities, we work to the mediatories and mostly with IFRC, which is the lead agency within the Red Cross, Red Crescent movement, to engage with them. My focus is primarily supporting the Palestinian Red Crescent Society in the West Bank and in Gaza to prepare and respond to these kind of eventualities and any other disasters and crises. And as I mentioned, I spent the day, we looked at how we have responded in the last 2 days, what are the ongoing needs, and we have deployed a team of a rapid assessment team on the ground who will be providing us with more detailed information in the next 24 to 48 hours so that we can collaborate with other agencies and support the refugees who have been affected severely by this crisis. And I also would like to point out that the situation on the ground today that I witnessed for myself is very grave. There are no services. All the roads have been completely damaged. Our ambulances were not allowed to move freely. They were not able to evacuate pregnant mothers. 2 of them actually had to give birth in the ambulance of Palestinian Red Crescent Society. So this gives you a picture of what happened there in the last 2 days. And we have a lot of major work at our hands in the next 48 to 50 hours and in the weeks and months coming.
Yes, I'm sure you do, and we wish you all the very best with that. We also thank you very much for joining us on the News Hour. Thank you, Faisal Mahboob.
Thank you for having me.